Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one because we are going to be discussing overrated makeup products. In my last video, I did an empties video. I'll link it in the cards. I was talking about the Beauty Bakery setting powder and how I thought it was overrated. And then I thought, oh, overrated makeup products, that's like a really good video idea. And then as I was doing research for this video, I thought, this product list seems really familiar. So I went back to my previous videos and realized that I had already done this video. So apparently I don't even know what videos I have and have not filmed yet. Regardless, I did have some products that I came up with that I do think are overrated. So I thought I'd make a part 2 because there are just a lot of things that I don't think deserve the hype that it gets. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. Before we get into it, I kind of want to talk about an order that I placed. This is kind of random, but I just feel like I can't make entire videos about certain products. Like if I pick up 1 or 2 items. So I'm just going to talk about it now because I don't want to make a whole video about it. But I placed an order with Clionadh Cosmetics on Boxing Day actually, and it finally came in the mail yesterday. Just a little bit about my consumer experience. They are based in Toronto and I'm located about 40 minutes from Toronto, so it's kind of like supporting local. Not only that, but I had really wanted to try their products for a very long time. Now, my order was supposed to ship late February. I don't want to shit on them and like give them a terrible review, but my order shipped like almost 2 months late. And I was aware that it was going to be late. And I think COVID had a lot to do with that. I know that they did have like a bit of a COVID scare, I guess, where one of their employees was around someone who tested positive. So they had to like shut down production for an entire week, but still like 2 months late. I don't know if that's like normal for their company, but that's like really late. And I don't know if maybe they were just shorthanded because of the pandemic. I don't know the details of it. Even though my order was late, they were really good at keeping me updated as a customer about where they were in production and approximately when my order would be shipped out. That date kept getting pushed back, but at least I was like in the know, because that's like the really big thing that bothers me is when brands or companies don't even bother to like inform you about what's happening. And they were really good about that. They did like a weekly update on their website, and then they would send me an email every so often to kind of make sure that I got that information. So that was really good. And I don't know, I feel like these products are a little bit overrated. I don't know. Maybe it's just the colors I picked that aren't exactly speaking to me. I'm wearing some of the shades today. I'm wearing 2 of the 5 shades I got. I didn't get like first pick of what I wanted just because I didn't realize that there was a sale going on. So I did kind of place it late and everything was very picked over by the time I got to it. That being said, I don't know. Everyone just raves about these eyeshadows and I'm kind of like, why? Like they are pretty, don't get me wrong, very beautiful, but like very expensive and very hyped. Like I thought I was going to be just flabbergasted by how beautiful they were and I just wasn't. But that's just going off of swatches, so I'll definitely have to play with them more and keep you in the loop about what I think, but that's just kind of like my first impression. So for the matte purple that's in the outer corner of my eye, I'm using the Aether Beauty what is this? Joshua Tree Desert Matte Palette. I really enjoy the formula. This was in my Sephora recommendations for the sale. I'll link that video up above. Today I used this shade. That's the main purple shade that you see. And then I kind of deepened it up with this shade here. Really pretty. Love the formula. So smooth and blendable. And then the purple on my eyelid is this shade by Clionadh and it is called Glazed. So I'll just give you a little swatcheroonie while we're here, right? So this is the color here. All of the shades that I did pick up were part of their stained glass collection. So the shade Glazed, I think it's part of their iridescent multi-chromes or something. Oh, glitter multi-chromes. The glitter is plastic free. So in case you're like worried about the environment and you know, microplastics, it's plastic free. So that's great. It has a sheer lilac base with large glitter particles that shift pink, orange, and gold. So you can really see that lilac base there. And then as I turn my hand, I think the predominant glitter color that you'll see is gold. It's kind of hard to get it to pick up in the way that I want it to, but that's the shade. Very pretty. This shade in particular does have a bit more of a flaky glitter formula, so I find that it's best used with a tacky base underneath. I mean, that's how I used it today and I found it very helpful. And it's not that these shades aren't beautiful. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was just like something a little bit more. So that shade Glazed retails for $10 Canadian. The next shade I got is called Luminaire and it is just a white until you swatch it. It retails for $10.50 Canadian. It is the series Series 1 Iridescent Multichrome. So it has a translucent base that reflects pink, orange, and gold. It says these have a pearlized satin finish. These ones don't swatch on your finger very nicely, I've found. I feel like it looks a little bit chalky on my finger, but I used it on the brow bone today and I like it quite a bit more applied to the face than I did in a swatch. This was my least favorite swatched, but I don't think it's my least favorite applied. It really is quite pretty. So I've swatched it out there and you can kind of see that translucent pinky base, and then when the light hits it, you can see more of that orangey gold. I'm not sure if it's going to be picking up on camera, but I think that's such a beautiful highlight shade. Very smooth, not as chunky glitter as the other finish. So yeah, I actually really like this one, and I was really not excited about it when I first swatched it. My hands are going to be covered in glitter. Maybe I should make this like its own separate video because I'm already at like 11 minutes of filming, but we'll just keep going. I only have 3 more left. So the next shade that I have is called Cathedral, and it is a pastel multi-chrome. These are described as a soft gray base with pearlized luminous effects. Cathedral specifically is a grungy olive gray base that shifts pink, peach, and gold. This one is so incredibly pretty. I really like this one. So you can see that pink there, and then as I shift it, you can see that grayish olive, and it's pink and gold at the same time. I don't know how they do it. It's really cool. This one is also quite a smooth texture. It has more of like a metallic type texture than like a flaky glitter. Very beautiful. This is like one of my top ones that I picked out. I'm really excited about that one. Like even when I remove that swatch, it looks very olive, and I don't know how they get it to shift so intensely a different color. It's crazy. Maybe I am more excited about these than I thought. Maybe they're not overrated. Again, that was just kind of my first impression. This one is probably my least favorite so far. I haven't worn this one on the eyes yet. I just don't see quite the same flip in this one as I do the others. Ornamental is also a glitter multi-chrome, and it is described as a semi-sheer light brown base with small glitter particles that shift yellow, lime, and turquoise. I just feel like this color is pretty common. We see it often, you know, with the brown base, as you can see there, that shifts like a greenish blue. It is super beautiful and very reflective. However, I wish I picked a different color. This one's kind of like my own fault, just because I feel like it's more common, so I wasn't as wowed by it because I've seen things that are similar before. But if you're into those types of colors, I think you'd really like that one because it is super reflective. And finally, the last one I got is Sunbeam, which in the pan looks like a light pink. It's very different swatched. This one is actually in stock right now, so if you're interested, you could go pick it up. I don't really see the pink when swatched though. Well, I guess a little bit, but like not nearly as much as you see it in the pan. So this one is described as having a sheer pink base with small, medium glitter particles that shift pale gold, lime, and turquoise. As you can see, that pink base kind of in the back when the light's not hitting it, but very different when the light hits it. I really like this one too. So I think these aren't overrated. I think maybe I was just expecting more, but the more I swatch and look at them, the more I like them. So maybe it was just like a first impression thing, like I had been waiting for so long that I just expected a little bit more, but they are very, very beautiful, especially this Cathedral one. I think that's so unique. Like it looks like purpley there, but then it's so olive, like the shift is insane on this one. Anyways, that is my little Clionadh haul. Those eyeshadows are very high in demand, so if you are wanting them, be prepared to wait. That's all I can say. I thought I was gonna at least get it for my birthday, but that was 3 weeks ago. So my best advice is just be patient and they will get to you in good time. And I would say they are worth it when they do. Anyway, enough with glittery eyeshadows. Let's talk about some overrated makeup products. So I'm just gonna scooch over so that I can put my picture. Do I put it on this side or this side? I think I put it on this side. My new background's kind of screwing me up a little bit. Okay, so more overrated makeup products. Let's get into it. The first one I want to talk about is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. Everyone talks about how much they love this mascara, I find, and I just don't love it personally. The reason that I don't like this one is because it does absolutely nothing for my lashes. The wand is way too big for me. I talk about this frequently, but I have tiny eyes, so when a wand is too big, I can't really coat my lashes effectively. And this is a perfect example of that. I just don't really like this mascara. It makes everything super clumpy for me. The wand is too big and it's just kind of a disaster. So this one is a definite pass for me, and I think that it is definitely overrated. Next up is kind of a cult favorite product. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. It's supposed to make your makeup last all night, and I don't find that it does. I do use this setting spray, especially in my makeup artist kit, but I use it because I like the idea of it, and I think it does a good job of getting rid of a powdery finish. Like if you apply setting powder on top of foundation, it does kind of leave that powdery unskin-like finish, and a setting spray really melts it into the skin. But I don't find that my makeup actually lasts longer with this product, and I feel like a lot of people say that it does and that it's their holy grail product for that reason, but I just don't think that it makes my makeup last any longer. And I feel like people are really like ride or die for that product, and I am just not. As long as it kind of melts the makeup into the skin, that's what I'm concerned with. So this product is definitely just a touch overrated, and by a touch I mean a lot. I will continue to use it for my kit though, just for the off chance that it does work for somebody, but for me, I don't really notice a difference. Next up is one that I've kind of gone back and forth with. I say I love it, and then I say I don't love it, and then I say I love it, and then I say I don't. But I think I've finally established that I don't really like it. It's the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer. The reason that I think this is overrated is because it creases on me like a bitch. The coverage is beautiful, the finish is beautiful, but it's just really creamy. And I've tried applying less of it, but it still creases on me just the same. And I really want to love the product because, as I said, the coverage and the finish is beautiful, but I just can't get over how bad it creases on me. Nothing I do prevents the creasing. I've tried baking, I've tried less setting powder, I've tried more setting powder, I've tried no setting powder. I've tried different setting powders in case it was the setting powder that was the problem, and I just can't make it work for me. So that is a reason that I think this product is overhyped. Another concealer that I think is overrated for the same reason is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. For a drugstore concealer, I think that it is good. I'm wearing it today because I'm trying my best to love it, but it just creases on me so badly. Let's do an under eye check. Let's see if I can zoom you in so you can see it. So I don't know if you can see, but I have some pretty deep eye fine lines, specifically up here more. And I just buffed this out and blended it out and set it again with translucent powder before I started filming this video. So about 15 minutes ago. So this concealer just always wears terribly on me. It looks really good for like the first 15 minutes. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a creasy mess. The coverage is fantastic and the finish is beautiful. It's just the crease. Like if this didn't crease on me, magnifique, 10 out of 10 stars. For the price, I understand why people still like it. Like obviously I'm still wearing it today because I'm trying to love it because it's so affordable and I kind of want it for my kit. So I'm trying to make it work, but I just can't. It's just not working for me. If you have any tips on how to make this product work for me, please leave them in the comments below. I've been trying, but I've been so unsuccessful in doing that. So next up, I have a couple of eyeliners on my list. The first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Liner. This one is raved about, I find, in the Instagram community, and I just find it really difficult to apply. I find the easiest way to apply eyeliner is with brush tip applicators, and that one is felt. And while the formula is super matte, I find like once it dries, and it does dry very quickly, it's so hard to draw over top of it, because the way I like to do my eyeliner is I line my lash line first, and then I create a wing, and then I go back over my lash line. So once it dries along my lash line, going back over it is impossible. And maybe the product is just not compatible with the way I do eyeliner, but I just feel like a good product, I should be able to use it the way that I use all of my other eyeliners, and that one just doesn't work for me. Plus I find that the felt tip makes it hard to get a super sharp wing. I always find that the tip of my wing is like a little chunky when I use that eyeliner. More chunky than I like personally. Another one that I absolutely hate is the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Liner, and I constantly hear such good things about this one. Even still, I just find that again, this one is so difficult to apply because it dries so quickly and it's impossible to go over again. I find once it dries and I try to go back over it, it just skips, and it dried out really quickly on me, but everyone else seems to love it. So maybe I got a dud, I don't know, but I don't understand the hype about this one. This one has been like a cult favorite for years, and I don't understand. I've tried it a couple times actually. I've tried a couple samples, and maybe the samples are different, like the mini size samples that you get as Sephora Point Perks. Maybe they're different from the full size. That's the only explanation that I could possibly think of, because like there's no way that that product that I've tried is so hyped up. So it's gotta be a different formula or something, but I just don't understand why that product is so hyped. It seems very, very overrated to me. Next up is a lip product that I wanna talk about. This is the Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Plumper. This one specifically is all over TikTok, and I have seen quite a few YouTubers that have loved on it over the years. It's quite an old product, so it's been a favorite for like a long time. And the reason that I don't like that one is because it hurts me. I find that product extremely painful. And I really like lip plumpers. I like the tingling effect, and I've tried quite a few and none hurt me like the Too Faced one does. And I like to think that I have a pretty high pain tolerance, you know, like I'm definitely not a wimp when it comes to pain, that's for sure. That being said, that one was so uncomfortable for me that I just couldn't even wear it. I had to wipe it off immediately. So I don't know how people can like take that kind of pain, because I sure couldn't. Maybe that means it's really working, but I couldn't handle it. So obviously it's not gonna work if I'm just gonna take it off right away. So I really don't understand the hype around that one. I would quite literally take the pain over having lip injections done than that product. Not that it's less painful, but kinda. I just hated that burning so badly. I would just rather get lip injections than go through that pain every day, for sure, hands down. Okay, next up is one that I still hear quite a bit about. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blushes. Remember back in the days of OG YouTube where this was all the rage? This blush range was just what everyone talked about. I always found the formula very dry. It almost felt like dried clay, which I guess makes sense because it's the Amazonian Clay blushes, but I didn't think it resembled clay in like a good way, like it was like dry and cracky, and I found it hard to get pigment from the pan onto my cheeks. And once I finally did get the product on my cheeks, I found it didn't last long. Everyone says that these last all day, they're so amazing, the longest lasting blushes I've ever used, and I just don't feel that way. I remember using these in high school and university, and they would fade after like maybe 4 hours of wear. So that's one that I just never understood. I don't know if it's because I have oily skin, so my oils would just like eat right through the product. I'm not really sure, but I have heard people with oily skin talk about these, and I found that just like classic MAC blushes wore longer than the Amazonian Clay ones did for me, and they were easier to apply because they were a bit more pigmented. For blush, I don't usually love something that's crazy pigmented to the point where I have to like spend hours trying to blend it out, but I do like something that's a little softer. Those were rock hard in my opinion. Next up is one that makes me sad because the shade range is so good. It's the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer. I don't think I mentioned this one in my previous video, but I definitely have mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of this product. I have it right here, and look how much I've gone through. So I feel like I definitely gave this product a fair shot. I still do use it, but I only use it for nose contour. I don't use it for anything else. And for nose contour, don't get me wrong, it works really well. I do like it for that. But I just find that the pan on this is so rock hard. I had the same problem with that product that I do the Amazonian Clay blushes, where it's just so hard to transfer the product from the pan onto my cheeks. I have to build it up so incredibly much to get any sort of pigment. And I looked at the Sephora reviews and I clicked on the 1-star reviews to see why people were giving it 1-star reviews. And a lot of people actually had the same problem. They said that they couldn't transfer the product from the pan onto their face and that it was just so unpigmented. I'll see if I can show you what I mean. I mean, I am full of glitter, so please disregard that. But like, yeah, this pan is just so hard. And it makes me so sad because the tone of this bronzer is so good. Like, I am pushing really hard trying to get product off. That's the color payoff I get. I was thinking maybe that means I should go like a shade darker, but I read some reviews and it said that they thought the same thing as well, but that going a shade darker actually didn't help. So I don't know. I'm not sure if this is really a good one for me personally. Once it's on the face, it's beautiful. It's just getting it there is really quite difficult. I'm really pushing with my finger. Normally that would add quite a bit of pigment, and it's just not. So imagine doing that with a brush. Like, I feel like I have to like scrape the product out. So I don't really understand the hype about that one in particular. I feel like if they made those products softer, it would have been amazing. Definitely something that I would continue to repurchase because again, that fair tone shade is so beautiful. It's the best color that I think I've ever personally seen in a bronzer. So yeah, for that reason, I think it's definitely an overrated product because I hear a lot of people talking about how much they love them and I just don't understand how. How do they get the product on their face? I don't get it. Okay, so I have one more product that I want to talk about. I feel like this video went by really quite quickly. Probably still 20 minutes long though, because I say that every time and then I go to edit and I'm like, oh yeah, it seemed like it went by fast, but you just blabbed for like an hour. The last product I want to talk about is the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer by ColourPop. When this first came out, I got it in PR and I liked it at first, and then as I used it, it started to get kind of weird on my skin and I don't use it anymore. But I saw a ton of people that really enjoyed it and continued to enjoy it. So I think initially I really wanted to like it and maybe that's why I gave it a better review. But as I wore it more and more, I just didn't feel the same way. And that's the problem with first impression reviews. You don't know how much you're going to actually like something just based off using it once. And I just find that that product really made my skin look oily, which it was supposed to be like a dewy fresh product, so I kind of get. But I just find that it doesn't look consistent on my skin. It looks kind of patchy. And that's not usually a problem I have because I don't have like a ton of dry skin to like cause patchiness. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but I don't like that product. I would much rather use my Fenty Beauty skin tint. I'm wearing that today. So far I have still been really liking this product. But yeah, the ColourPop one, just not for me. At first I thought that maybe it was because it was more of a sheer coverage product that I didn't like it, but this is also sheer coverage and I like this quite a bit more, so clearly that's not the issue. I think it's just the patchiness for me, and I don't know why it goes on patchy on my skin. If you guys have experienced this problem, let me know in the comments down below, and if you were able to fix it, I would love to know how you did that, because I just can't figure it out. The thing though is that I see it raved about by a lot of dry skin YouTubers, so maybe that could be the reason why I feel like it's more hyped up, because as an oily skin person, obviously it's not going to act the same way on my skin. So yeah, that could be why. I don't really know, but that is one that I definitely feel is overrated. And that's everything for this video. Again, I feel like it was kind of a short one, so I apologize about that. Leave in the comments down below what you feel is like the most overrated product. I would really love to know, because I just find it so interesting how so many people can love one thing and then you're just kind of like on the outside being like, I don't see what everyone else sees. So yeah, I would love to know what you think are some overrated products in the beauty industry. And yeah, I think that's it from me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay. I just really appreciate you being here. It helps out my channel so much by you watching, so thank you. Please leave any video requests you may have in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!